This is the third episode of the podcast. So I hope everybody's doing all right. I hope you're having a great day today. Um Trying to touch base a little bit. Still trying to promote the podcast through Facebook. Um it's not really doing as good as I thought it would be doing. Um but you never know. Things can turn around in a flash. Um, I'm hoping that eventually I can get it out there a little bit more, um, and get more people listening to it. And that's all I really want to get to right now is just the people around me and like in my area. I want them to be listening to it more than like more than like getting it out around everywhere. Um, so the Firehouse Podcast on Facebook is where it is at. Um, yeah, the most recent post we have is on August the 17th. That was last Saturday. That was last Saturday whenever we posted our most recent video or our most recent episode. Um, So yeah, that's pretty much just the main goal now. I'm recording this episode on one of my new microphones, so I hope this sounds a lot better. Um, yeah. So I hope this sounds a whole lot better. To everybody, whether you're listening with or without headphones. Yeah. Right. So let's get into some of these news stories. Um, from all the way around the country. Trying to find something. Ooh, that sounds pretty crazy. Flooded New York firehouse doesn't. Wait, didn't we read this one last week? No, the one that we read last week was a different flooded firehouse. I think it was in Charleston. I think that was the one that we did. Because I think we were looking at South Carolina um around. No, maybe that was the first episode that we were talking about that. Yeah, that was the first episode that we were talking about that. Um, Whenever the Charleston Fire Department got flooded during Tropical Storm Debbie, but this is a different one. This is a New York firehouse. Um, that got flooded. Um, Firefighters in Port Jefferson battled heavy rains to get people to safety earlier this week. All while its own firehouse was flooded, screenshots shared to Facebook show submerged gear and equipment estimated to be thousands of dollars in damages. The department tells the news that at no point was its ability to answer emergency calls impacted, and the cleanup process is already underway. Fire department members say they believe it will be completed by Thursday. If the fire department says it's answered 25 calls Sunday Sunday night into Monday morning during the height of the storm. Okay. So that's from News 12 on Long Island. So, wow, 25 calls between Sunday night and Monday morning is insane. That's a lot. That's busy. So if you're gonna call that like a little 12-hour from like midnight Sunday to noon Monday, then that's 2 calls every hour. And if it's, yeah, 2 calls every hour pretty much, because I don't know like the exact time, so I'm just gonna guess that it's like talking about a 12-hour Sunday night into Monday morning. If not, it could be less than that and getting upwards of 3 or 4 calls every hour. Who knows? That's a lot for that place to deal with all at one time. There's really no other. Oh, there's this one. Boat bursts into flames. New Jersey dock, the fuel dock. Fire broke out at a boat anchored. What? A fire broke out at a boat anchored to a Willwood, New Jersey fuel dock that had the fire department working on the scene for 3.5 hours. Firefighters were dispatched to a 40-foot 2 vessel engulfed in flames, and the fire partially spread to the dock. The boat eventually sank from the large amount of water used to put out the fire, and the cause of the fire still remains under investigation. That's crazy. There's a link, and it says it's a video. I'm gonna look at that. The full article. Um, that's kind of that's kind of wow. That's a lot to deal with all at one time. You got 42 feet of boat. Oh man, these pictures of it are crazy. It said that there was a video. There's not a video. Oh, unless I click on one of these and it's a video. Wow. Yeah, like it's not just a 42-foot boat. It's like a 42 foot like yacht. Um, wow. Oh, finally it loaded after I clicked on it. Man, that's wow. That whole thing is just engulfed. 3.5 hours. Wow. That's a long time. Let's check any updates with wildland firefighting. Well, there's quite a lot here this week. Northern Wyoming houses. Northern Wyoming's house. What? That's not proper grammar at all. Anyways, fire explodes to nearly 200,000 acres. Uh, Really not a lot in that other than just 200,000 acres being burnt. It doesn't really give any idea on how many departments, or like a rough idea of how many departments have responded, how long they've been out there. Da 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 da. Hold on, where's that button at? Oh, this is just a previous update. This is from Thursday the 22nd. The Wyoming fire was only have grown to 7,000, almost 8,000 acres, with 0% containment by the morning of August 22nd. Wow, that's crazy. To go from, so the exact numbers are to go from 7,798 acres to 130 or 163,000 acres in a day. How's that even possible? These might be two different fires. I have no idea. Is this one rural Johnson County? just northern Wyoming. What does that other one say? Is it? Yeah. It doesn't really give us. That says Cowboy State Daily. Yeah, so I really don't think that those are the same fire. Those are probably two different fires. I feel like it's safe to assume that. Uh, let's see what is going on in FDNY, if there's anything. Firefighter hurt when blaze tears through e-bike shop in Queens for second time this year. Golly. Flames destroyed part of an e-bike shop in Richmond Hill early Thursday morning, forcing people who live above the shop to get out of their homes in the middle of the night. The blaze broke out at the electric scooter shop at around 2:30 a.m. The fire reportedly broke out in a garage area where the bikes are stored. More than 24 electric and gas-powered bikes are pulled out of the store. This wasn't the first time the shop went up in flames. Eyewitness News was there back in March when the store caught on fire. Quote, "It was the second time that the garage caught on fire. The first time was a few months ago," the resident said. Twice in within a couple of months? You gotta fix that, brother. Like, that's wow. Two times within a couple of months is just outrageous. You gotta figure something out because something's wrong with your bikes, man. I don't know what's wrong with them, but something's wrong with them if they're just gonna like pretty much spontaneously combust at 2:30 in the morning. Twice within a couple of months. That's that's crazy. Um, whoa. 30 emergency responders tackle fire in Brooklyn. Fire broke out Tuesday night in a four-story building on Fulton Street near whatever plaza. The FDNY received a call at 4:20 a.m. and sent 60 firefighters and EMS workers to the building between Marcy and Brooklyn Avenues. The building has a storefront on the ground floor. The firefighters got the fire under control by 5:11 a.m. There were no reported injuries according to the FDNY. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. So that's, well, I don't really know how big it was. I was gonna say that's crazy, but I really have no idea if it is. Either way, the call came out at 4:20 in the morning, and just under, sorry, excuse me, and just under an hour later, the fire was under control. Granted, it's probably because you had 60, 60 plus firefighters and EMS workers there. But, because it doesn't really give a description of how big the fire was. I'm going to try to view the full article and see if it, like, gives me a little bit of a better description or what. No. Nothing. Not a picture. Not any more words. Wow. Oh, there. Oh, no, that wasn't a picture. That was just like stock imaging. Um, let's do a state that we haven't done before. Let's do. I'm trying to think. What? I mean, there's only a few states. Not a few states. We haven't done almost all of the states. We'll do Nevada because I don't think I've done Nevada yet. Um. Hmm. Reno Fire Department responds to 2 fires within half an hour of each other. Oh wow. The Reno Fire Department had a busy Tuesday night, responding to 2 fires within a half hour of each other. The first fire started at a home just after 7 p.m. The spokesperson for the Reno Fire Department said that the fire was contained to a balcony and was started by a cigarette. A second fire called out roughly a half hour later, according to the Reno Fire Department. The spokesperson was located near the Greater Nevada Field in the parking lot. That fire was a brush fire and was quickly extinguished. Okay, so it's not like they were big fires within a half hour of each other, but still 2 fires within a half hour of each other. The Reno Fire Department did a great job managing that. I don't know if they are. I don't know if they're like a volunteer or a paid department, but either way, because I have no idea how close those two places are to each other. But either way, good job. If this computer would like to work, I'd be able to see these pictures and see if it'll want to work. You can see if like how bad these fires were, but it's not loading for some reason, so I'll just let it load in a separate tab. In the meantime, we'll look at Kansas. That's not Kansas. The page cannot be reached. Why is that? Why is nothing working all of a sudden? I promise I have internet connection. There we go. Kansas finally loaded. And so did the pictures from the fire that we were just talking about. I think. I'm not seeing any pictures. Here we go. Okay, so pictures and videos. I don't really want to watch any videos. Just kind of see. I don't really see how, because it said the one at the ballpark was a brush fire, right? Yeah, that doesn't really look like a brush fire. Maybe they got it mixed up because that one does look like it's kind of on a balcony. And then this next one, if it would load, that'd be great. And then this, yeah, so they got it. I don't know. Oh, okay, no. So the way that first picture looked, it was like covered up by some railings. So I thought that was the one that was on the balcony, but no, the other one it was on like kind of not really a balcony, but kind of like a fire escape, sort of looking thing. Um, and then the one behind or at that one field, it was definitely a brush fire. There's some burnt trees in that picture. Alright, so let's go on to Kansas. Um, Cruise battle propane tank fire at Brown County Casino. At a casino is kind of funny. I mean, I don't know why, but I just. Oh, shoot. Shit. Sorry, guys. Um, but crews from multiple fire departments responded to a propane tank blaze Wednesday night at a Brown County casino. The fire was reported around 9:30 p.m. According to a post on the Sabeth Fire Department's Facebook page. A very large propane tank on fire at the casino. Due to the very dangerous nature of the incident and the size of the fire, the Facebook post stated, a large response was assembled, requiring units from Sabetha, Fairview, and a bunch of different fire departments. Additional response came from area law enforcement agencies and emergency medical service providers. The Facebook post noted that firefighters from Sabetha assisted other departments in controlling the fire so the gas could be shut off, at which point the tank was cooled with water until the residual gas buildup in the system could be burnt off. Man, so that's, hold on. Let's do a little bit of a count here. So you have Sabetha, Fairview, 1, 2, 3. Wait, no. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different fire departments were dispatched to that. So there's no pictures or anything provided with it. But clearly it must have been a pretty large one. Like, because I don't know. I've never been to a casino. They might have kitchens, if not one, multiple. So they might have a giant propane tank to like provide that for in the kitchen, or I don't really know what else. Uh, but yeah, so it pretty much basically just must have been a rather large propane tank, not like one of those ones that you put underneath your grill, like outside in the backyard, and not one of those smaller ones that are like in the backyards of some houses, especially in rural areas, because some people prefer having propane go to their house instead of just using like electric. Um, so it must have been a pretty big one at that, bigger than the ones that you would just have behind a house. Um, what state do we do next? Let's see what's going on. Nah, because I've done Florida. We can't do Florida again. Let's do. Let's do. Whoops. Let's do Louisiana. See what's going up in New Orleans. And if it would load, that'd be great. I don't know why, but the computer is acting rather slow today. Excuse me. Ugh. Hmm. It's really not loading. What is happening right now? No idea. Let's see something else while that's loading. Hmm. Uh, let's see. I'm just kind of like scrolling on Facebook right now, uh, seeing if there's anything funny or cool worth mentioning. Uh, Oh, that's what? It's a picture of a fish coming out of a 5-inch Storts connection, like on the pump panel, and where you'd connect your supply line. And it's sticking its head out. Somebody commented dinner. Uh, Facebook really don't got nothing. Oh, oh gosh, that's a picture of some guy putting out a vehicle fire with not a lick of gear on. He's in a t-shirt, shorts, and tennis shoes, holding. I think it looks like a inch and a half, 2.5, something like that. Started to never fail in school. What's your best at? Oh, that's a good post. We'll read some of these comments too. This post says, "What is your best advice as a firefighter?" Um, let's take a look at some of these comments and see what people say. Push yourself to new expectations. Remember, you have people counting on you always. Think to yourself, "I've got this." This one's kind of funny. If you're a probationary firefighter, do what your captain tells you to. I feel like he's kind of speaking from experience. Um, Maybe witnessing a probie get shit on or something. Put the wet stuff on the red stuff. That's kind of self-explanatory. Um, Always wear your hard hat. The goal every day is to ensure that everyone goes home safely to their families. Our work is important, but nothing is more important than your safety. Wearing your helmet is a simple action that can make a difference. It's not just about following the rules, it's about protecting your life, health, and your future. Every time you put on that helmet, you're making a choice to stay safe, to lead by example, and to show that you value your life and the other lives of those around you. Commit to looking out for each other by always wearing your helmets because we work as a team and we protect each other as one. That's a good one. That's out by a man named Wally. What the hell? Oh, okay. Sorry. Never stop training. Keep your eyes and ears open and your mouth shut. The only dumb question was the one that wasn't asked. Some good things. Um, hmm, See if they got anything else. Hmm. What's some good training the boys and I can do? We're planning forcible entry, carry down firemen, carry down firemen upstairs, and ladders. Any other suggestions? I carry a huge boulder on my chest for sit-ups and carry half a tree up a mountain, then back down and back down the rocks in backpack or lead plates work pretty good too. Jeez. I thought we were gonna find something interesting or something helpful. Um, Let's see. Uh, what is the best firefighter advice you've ever received? Mouth shut, eyes open. Get a degree. Don't die. That's always a good little bit of advice. Never rush. I was waiting. I was hoping I was gonna find that in the last firefighter advice post. Never rush. Oh my gosh. My whole life, as long as I can remember, my father and my grandfather, especially whenever I was little and just so excited to be at the station to play on the fire trucks and hang out just at the station, I was always told, don't run. Never run. Walk. Never run, walk. I cannot tell you how many times I have busted my ass in the bay room on the floor because I decided to put even just a little bit of pep in my step. Those floors are crazy slick. And especially whenever it's like early in the morning and you were just outside walking to your car or whatever and you got some Crocs on, dude, you're I feel like you're better off walking through the bay barefoot in your socks. Take those Crocs off. I even recently, the few times that I've gone to the station in my Crocs, especially like in the morning or like later at night whenever the ground's a little bit wet because of the dew, you got a little bit of water on the bottom of your Crocs. And even just walking, you take even walking as slow as you possibly can, taking one wrong step, and you are on your ass in seconds. And that doesn't just apply to whenever you're walking around the station either. That applies in training, on scene, overhaul, packing the truck back up to go back to the station after a call. You always take your time getting in and out of the truck. You always take your time, um, because you're on scene of a fully involved structure, right? And you're running through the grass. And granted, you have all of your turnout gear on. So you got your boots, your pants, your coat, your helmet, and SCBA. And you're running through this yard with a ladder or a hose line, or hell, even just like an axe or a Halligan or a New York hook. And if you fall, you're gonna look like a fool in front of everybody because you didn't want to just take your time to do stuff right. So, and I'm sure everybody's learned the hard way. I know I have. I'm pretty sure my father has too. Um, you always take your time and you never rush anything. Because if you rush it, there's a good chance, well, not a good chance, there's a higher chance of somebody getting hurt or something going wrong. Um, the next little bit of advice is look out, it's hot. um, Let your ability and your work do the bragging, not your voice. That's a good one. Um, because if you just shut up and do the work, people will see that, and they might think better of you as a firefighter. Maybe not as a person, but they'll definitely think of you better as a firefighter. Um, hmm. I think that's all of those ones for that post. What time are we getting to? We're getting to 35 minutes. So, yeah, I guess that'll be it for today. Um, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Remember, you can find us on Facebook and YouTube. Oh, you're obviously watching us on YouTube, but you can find us on, excuse me, sorry, but you can find us on Facebook at the Firehouse Podcast. Um, can find our website at, give it just a second to load, and I can tell you. Uh, sorry. I don't know why it's showing up as HTTPS. But you don't have to type that in. You can find our website at thefirehousepodcast.godaddysite.com. In there, it should have our most recent video and the links to both our YouTube and Facebook. Also, on our Facebook, there's a link to a GoFundMe. Any money that is donated to that GoFundMe goes to firefighters that need a little bit of financial help paying for their medical bills. When I say medical bills, it's pretty much just covering, obviously, your basic medical bills, physical therapy, rehabilitation, and therapy. Uh, so like any kinds, broken bones that you get while at work, burns, anything, is what that covers. Also, if you are interested in joining our Discord, it's pretty much just an online chat room. We have a couple different like text channels where you can just text and type to one another, or a couple of voice channels where you can hop into. It's almost like a Zoom call, but not really a Zoom call. You don't need a code. You just tap in and you're in, and you can physically speak to other firefighters that are in there, and communicate about each other's experiences, and all that, and connect with one another. Um, so yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Um, I hope to get this video out by the end of Saturday the 24th. But we'll see. Um, episode 4 will be out next Saturday. So I hope y'all have a great rest of the week, and stay safe.